Hey there, commercial construction coffee talk fans. Thanks for chiming in. My name's David Corson. I'm your host. I'm also the publisher editor of Commercial Construction and Renovation magazine. Thanks for tuning in to our show this evening. I've got one of my old-time buds, Mr. Anthony Amunategui. He's the president of CDO Group. We're both 26. We're showing our age. You know, we're still young and dashing and doing all those great things, but known each other forever. And the reason why I want to have Anthony on our show this evening is that he's come from all sides of the business, and he's been around a while, and he knows everybody. And I think you'll enjoy the conversation that he has to offer. So with that great intro, Anthony, tell us about yourself, where you grew up, how you got into construction, all that good stuff.
David, you're gonna make my head too big. I'm not gonna be able to get off this Zoom call. You know, thanks for that great intro. You know, you and I have been around for a long time, and you know, it's kind of funny. When I started, I never thought when I went to college, I was going to be Gordon Gekko. I was going to be in accounting. I had no idea I'd end up in construction. I started off painting houses to work my way through college, and all of a sudden ended up in commercial construction. That path was not known to me when I started, but I found a passion. I loved doing it. You know, I started with companies like Discovery Zone and Blockbuster Video, those early days, you know, where rollout construction was really starting to happen, right? And then we went to Boston Market and Einstein Bagels, and from there we went to Avant Pan, and from there we went to Panera Bread. And the problem with that career, I loved it. I have a passion for growing companies. I love getting things done. I love figuring out where the problems are and solving them. But the problem I was having is I kept working myself a job. I'm like, no way. Every single time I'd go out there and give my blood, sweat, and tear for a company, and they'd come give me a knock on the door. Hey, bud, we're done building. You got to go. And
yeah, David, see you later.
Yeah, that was fun, right? Nothing better than giving your blood, sweat, and tears, and all of a sudden now you're going, oh, great, I get to go on unemployment. Yeah. And I was, you know, just crazy about it. I said, you know what? There's got to be a better way to do this. And I watched companies, you know, buy cows to get milk. And I'm like, why are they doing this? They sell chicken, or they sell videos, or they do bread and sandwiches. Why do they have a development team as big as their operations team? It makes no sense. And that's where construction outsourcing began. When I started this thing, there was nobody who did outsourcing. Literally, the business wasn't created. And when we started doing outsourcing, it started with phone calls to people saying, hey, I want to handle your outsourcing work. And they're like, you know, maybe back then you might have hired somebody that used to work for you, someone that retired. You go, hey, we have a couple extra projects. Let's bring Bob in. Hey, Bob, come back. You want to handle a couple projects for us? And Bob might come in and do a couple projects. But as a system, as a company, and back then you were looking for someone that could control and manage your program that you could trust, that would bring trusted guidance for your growth. You know, your contractors weren't there at the time, right? It was different. Today in the business, transparency is the theme. You know, people realize that you're not out there to rip them off anymore. Great contractors, great construction today happens transparently. You're showing the customer. There's no get rich quick. It's not that they're trying to rip people off. They're not around here. I've been around. You've been around. Those scam artists, they're here for a little bit and they're gone. You can't be in this business and not have integrity. It's too small of a business, especially where we're at with this multi-unit construction, facilities, maintenance. So this group of people, you know, you're transparent. The whole community gets to know you and your behavior. And so that's how it started. You know, it started back then, you know, with those brands. I realized, hey, I wanted to create a career for myself where I could do what I love doing. I could grow multiple companies at one time. And we would do, you know, if one started, one would grow, one would slow down. We always had something to choose from to work on. And that's how CDO really got its strength. And then me, I had to change, right? As I grew as a man, right? That was the biggest challenge, David. Come on, all the stuff we do as human beings, as a man, I had to grow, right? Go from a boy to a man to really grow a company. And as that evolved, that's been my favorite part about CDO Group, right? As I get to watch me change and evolve, and then the people around me change and evolve. That literally is my favorite part about what I do. We grow great brands, in 1985. In 2018, we did over $85 million worth of development around the country. Great work. We watch our people do some amazing things. As we got into COVID, you know, everybody starts looking at this and going, all right, what's this all about? Right, David? I don't know. It's evolved, right? We've to shut down. We're all shaking our heads, wondering what to do. The only thing I can figure right now is we've really worked on, our fundamentals. Go back to what we do, stay in the fundamentals. Get up every single day. Don't crawl up in a ball and get in the fetal position. Stay fighting every single day. Keep doing the fundamentals, making sure the clients that we have doing the best that we can. As some clients slow down, we take those staff and we put them onto other clients and do everything we can do to speed those projects up, right? So we make a difference. So that, while we're going through the crisis, keep getting better, taking the staff that we have in one area that's moving and move them over to another staff so they're available. But what they're doing is they're really working on those projects and making a difference, right? The best marketing we can do during a tough time is turn projects over faster and better.
Yeah, we did your 20-year anniversary last year for your supplement piece, and listen, in retail, I'm still old school, so I still go through all those circulation cards. So there are people that have been in business that I'll see them on LinkedIn. They've been there 30, 40 years, and give them the congratulation. Hard work pays off. Hey, give yourself credit, because there's some people that stay forever. And then there's other ones that jump every other year. Their resume's got to be 1,000,000 miles long. And those are the two types of people. But you never want to burn any bridges, because it's a very, very tiny little universe out there. I mean, there's only one Walmart. There's only one Hilton. There's only one, Chick-fil-A. So when you're looking at it, everybody knows everybody. And, you never want to burn any bridges, and you want to stay positive, and you want to be truthful, because listen, anybody can find out what everybody's doing. It's not a secret. And when you have a project, your sign's up there. Hey, building by so and so contractor. And but knowing that you were on the end user side, and then going to the vendor side, sometimes those guys can't make it on the vendor side, and they end up going back to the brand side. You actually were on the brand side, and then decided, hey man, I want to do this, but I want to do it, from a construction management or a project management point of view. Be their construction department per se. And some companies do it. Others like having him coming in. What I see happening is going into hopefully post-COVID, that I think a lot of brands will outsource, just because, listen, they got to get their jobs done. I mean, it's going to be really interesting to see how things play out, who they're going to bring back, how they're internally going to set up their departments. Are they going to have people work in their offices? Are they going to let them work out of their house? There's so many things that are going to change. They're going to be positive. It's going to be a complete, 10 years from now, if you and I talk, we're going to laugh at what it was before.
We've watched, this COVID thing has changed the way companies look at their whole program. The way you cannot anymore afford to have this unutilized staff. And if you think about construction, right? Literally, if this lifespan of a building, that's 20 years. Construction is a part that touches my finger, right? It's this little piece of development. All of a sudden, you're hiring a staff equal to operations to run that. It makes no sense, right? Their whole need is to get through that piece to get their operating business. And that's where outsourcing really, but it's hard for those new guys that are just starting out in outsourcing, right? They're trying to figure out how to manage, one-man band. They're bailing and rowing. Look, we've been there. Breaking through that process as a team or as an individual makes it really, really tough. Today, we get the luxury of having bandwidth across the country. And, we work with a lot of one-off, project management guys that are just getting started. And one of the things I love about CDO is we have the days of owning everything. That's such BS. Like that, this whole that's mine, that's yours. Stop. Work together with people. There's so much room out there when you start to partner and create relationships. That's the secret. If people are looking for what is my secret here, how did Anthony do it? Partner with people. Stop being excuse me the language. Stop being a pig. Mm-hmm. Partner with people. Look, take care of your partners. Make sure they're successful. Get them paid as fast as you can. Make sure that they have a roadmap in front of them where you're taking them, right? Partner with the brands with the people that you work with. And that's been our number one secret to success is that, look, even my competition, last year we worked as project managers or as a general contractor for some of the other project management companies in the industry, bailing them out during the process. They came to us and said, "Hey, Anthony, can you guys take care of these projects for us?" We're like, "Absolutely, loved it," right? And we'd love to be a role player. We don't need to own it. We want to be there to make them successful. When you stop being soloist, right? We, me, and stop being selfless and going, "Hey, how can I help you? How can I help? How can we help the brand?" The work comes. And
That all, you know, in a way, when the crash happened, a lot of people got weeded out, and a lot of companies didn't want to hire. So even if you were an architect or an engineering firm or a contractor, instead of hiring a staff and so forth, you would reach out to your bud and say, "Hey, man, can you help me out on this project?" And you know, you both make money, you both get the thing done, and it's just, I'm right there with you. I mean, I mean, right now, shoot, my artist, he handles about 10 other things, you know, and he fits me in. Same thing with my editor. I mean, you know, a lot of things have changed. Just like in 08, we did a lot of people out. A lot of things changed. Now we've come in. We were talking in the beginning of the year. You were just cranking right along. I mean, just freaking unbelievably busy. You know, you came to my summit in January. March comes. Wham! Here comes the 2x4 with rusty nails. Everything shut down. And the minute Tom Hanks got COVID, everything just went, you know, downhill. Nothing against Tom Hanks, but once that happened, you know, it all rolled down. Sports, you know, everything got canceled. And so now Georgia, we're reopening here. But let's talk about, you were in the middle of projects, probably right when all that went down.
In the middle.
So how did you handle it with learning about how to deal with with the virus being on a site? And let's talk about scheduling with your labor and so forth, because I know that's been a big issue with a lot of contractors, and with social distancing and space, and how you can get so many crews on a space. Let's talk about that.
You got it. You know, David, it used to be, how can you shift stack, right? Or how can you trade stack, right? How can I get more people on a job site, you know, and get more done every day? You know, how can I just get that perfect group? You know, flooring guys not on top of ceiling guys. And so how do we get it so that it's a perfect orchestra? Well, today you can't do that. You can't get more than 10 guys on a job site if they're small sites. If they're bigger sites, outdoor sites, we can, right? We can spread guys around, you know, multiple buildings or multiple spots of a project. But on small little tiny sites, you can't do that. So we realized something back in 18. We videotaped all of our job sites. We watched them on camera. We thought from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., you know, they're bustling. But from 2 p.m. to 6 a.m., you know, you might have a couple stragglers in the evening, but most of that nighttime was unused. And we said to the people as we went into this COVID thing, "Hey, why don't we change that? There's a way to do that." Look, today's youngster doesn't want to go to work at 6 a.m. with his dad. They'd rather play video games at night, or whatever they do at night, and they want to get up a little bit later. They don't mind coming to work at 11 and working late, right? So then we came up with a concept called shift stacking. And this year we've implemented that, and it's been a wonderful success, right? Across the industry from coast to coast. At first you hear this, "Oh, they'll never do it." As soon as you ask them, they love it, right? Guys love showing up at our job sites at 11 and going, or some of the older guys want to show up at 2:00 in the morning and get out of the job site early. They love it. They don't sleep anyways. They're like guy like me. I'm up early. I love getting up real early and getting most of my work done early, right? Same with a lot of those guys. So we found a way to spread that load out, and then actually have people enjoy doing it. Now, you can't call someone up tomorrow and go, "Hey, tomorrow you're going to work at, you know, change your hours." That doesn't work, right? By the way, you can never do that with anything. You can't, you know, schedule it, right? And when you buy the job out, put together a schedule. Say, "Hey, listen, what do your guys want to do?" Ask them. Here's how it's going to work, right? But what that requires for us is to be focused and communicate really, really well. Our superintendents, sometimes we have to have 2 superintendents, or sometimes three superintendents, depends on the team. It's a great place for us to train new superintendents, right? Because now you can put 2 superintendents on there, maybe a trainee, and they can train with that group, right? And they're there, they overlap, you know, morning and night with the 2 supers, and they get great guidance, right? They get to be part of learning. You know, so we've learned that stop getting scared. Don't get crawl up in the ball in the fetal position. Start to think, get creative, start to look at things. You know, we came up with another one just in the last month. Patios, Great. All these restaurants are opening up. We went to all the
That's the only way they're going to survive with a patio. I don't know what they're going to do in the winter, but if they're in a warm state, they need a patio.
patios and drive-throughs are the mantra for the year. If you're not thinking patios and drive-throughs for your brands that you're working with, you're not there. Chipotle's at in the Chipotle lanes. You know, the brands that have been so successful getting through this, McDonald's, why? Because they have drive-throughs. The brands with the drive-throughs, and then we're able to service those drive-throughs through third-party support, delivery folks did the best. And now how do we maximize those efficiencies? I think some of those brands are thinking to themselves, they'd love to create some just drive-through only, right? We're seeing brands out there that some of the startup brands that are growing, that are coming up with new concepts for it, right? We saw one brand out there, and Pizza. They're doing a great job with building the flagship stores, but then putting food trucks out there and figuring out where the growth needs to go and using those to service their deliveries. And then all of a sudden finding, hey, that's a great area, plant a flag there, right? So the concepts are going to change. We're going to watch this. Like it always has. Hey, by the way, when we were younger, they changed and people were like, oh, remember this? There was always change and there always will be change. Embrace it, go with it. Somewhere in here, there's an opportunity. The job is for us as the leaders of the group, guys with some seniority, to look around and look at it and go, all right, what's my opportunity? Right? What can I do today to serve my customer? If it's drive-throughs or patios, whatever it is, that's our opportunity to do it. If it's shift stacking, we can get the same amount of work done, sometimes even faster, by just taking those people and spreading their load, their work time out. That was a concept that came up through some of our project managers, and it was great, right? And I could see that continuing even after COVID, right? It's just a great way for people to look at what works best for them. They may not be able to all fit into one job site at the same time. We've certainly seen the job site easily spread from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. That's an easy spread right now. We're seeing, great coverage there. And as we get the early morning guys kicking in, some of the later guys kicking in, we'll see that opportunity also.
Here in Atlanta, we didn't really shut down with construction. I had 3 projects. There was a old folks home that was being put in. There was a industrial project, and then there was a restaurant that they were working on. They worked all the way through it. But I was talking to a contractor in Pennsylvania, and she was telling me that it's insane with all the regulations that unless you're like out on a DOT project where you have a lot of room, like you said, an outdoor site where people can spread out. But if you're in a TI project in a mall, it's impossible to get the work done because you don't have enough room for the plumber or the electricians, where you need a couple people and they need to have to have so much feet in between them that it's just not even worth doing the job. And some of the contractors, their sites would get infected, and they had to shut down, and then they had to sanitize and this, and then some of them said, "Screw it, we don't want to deal with it. We want to keep our employees safe and so forth. We're just going to shut down and go through the whole thing." So it's been depending on where you are in the country, a lot of the contractors, the construction management firms, they've kind of had to figure out and weave their way around and say, well, here I'm going to build, here I'm not, here I'll be okay, here's going to be a pain in the butt. And then some of the brands, hey, you know what? I need you to push my billing from 30 days to 120, or the plans I had I'm going to put on hold. I'm going to push those back to 2021. Right now, I'm getting ready to put my June contractor report in. So a lot of people, they've been sending their listing forms, and they've said, hey, I had a great year in 2019, 2020, not going to be the same, but I'm really worried about 21 and 22, and what's going to happen. And So I just go back to him and say, hey, it's been tough on me too. I mean, I've had to adapt. I mean, even myself, when I was talking to people right when the COVID thing happened in March, everybody was talking about, okay, I'm in contingency mode. What am I going to do if my superintendent goes on the project site and they gets COVID and goes home and affects someone passed? Who's liable? All the attorneys are trying. The attorneys are probably foaming at the mouth because they know that they want to sue the brand or the contractor or whoever about the sickness. Did they do that with the flu? No.
Right.
No. But they're doing it with this. So just putting everything in the force majeure, even as an event guy. I mean, I've been frozen out. All my CCRPs, I can't have social distancing at my events. I'm glad I had my event when I did, but now I put my March, April issue out, and I just made a decision. Hey, you know what? I got to go with the flow. I'm going digital. I'm going to print a few issues for the advertisers and the person on the cover, and I'm going to normally I need to send out, print 5,000 copies and send out about 27,000 digital. Now, last month, I sent out 160,000 emails between my e-digest, my podcast, my issue, and now I've hooked up, I've built up a decent sized database of emails, but I've hooked up with a couple of people that have LinkedIn accounts with 30,000 or more. So I'm going to be able to expose people to over 100,000 people when we launch up with the issue. So now we're going monthly. I just saw my cover for Domino's. It's coming up on May. You'll see it at the end of the week. And
Nice.
We're doing it digital. I don't know what's going to happen. Personally, I don't think there'll be any trade shows until the end of the year, until they get a vaccine or so forth. I just don't see it. I think people getting on planes and so forth, they're going to be very wary. And I don't know how you're going to do a trade show. Like, you got 10 by 10 booths, social distancing. You've got to put another 6 feet. Okay, the trade show hall is only so big. You're going to scan someone's badge from 6 feet away. Everybody's got a mask. You think reading a badge was tough? When you try to see someone with a mask, everybody's going to have a logo on their mask. Hey, I'm from Burger King, or I'm so forth. So it's all going to change.
I can put my name and all my info on the map. There you go. See that? Look for the opportunity.
Yeah. So myself and I'm getting, like, we've known each other a long time. So I'm old school. I still like the magazine. I like feeling it. But a lot of people, all the old school guys, like, they like to feel it. But all the new guys, they don't even know what a magazine is.
Right.
So I just say, what? I'm going digital. And I might even like it. I don't deal with a printer. I have to the post office, my audits, and all that. So I look at everything with the glass half full, half empty. I'm like a weatherman. It could be cloudy, partly sunny. I hope it's sunny every day, but I know that's not reality. But you and I, we're both in the same boat. You have to, when this whole thing hit, the people that did that just basically sat back. Those are the ones that I think are going to be behind the curve. And,
for sure. The ones that crawled up into the ball and said, that's it, shut down. They pulled in all the reins. As soon as COVID hit, our team went in. I mean, like, that's what you had to do. You had to dig, look at it. I love what you're doing. I love the whole evolution. David, you have evolved for years as the, how do you tighten things up? How do you do more with less? That's the model that you've created for communicating to the whole field. And then what's happened is I've watched you grow, right? I've really seen you grow because you've let go of all the weight that wasn't serving you, right? And I think that's the way the future is going to be, right? There's no need for construction companies to carry the weight they were carrying. So as we look at our brands and how we operate, it's similar to you. We've got to let go of the weight that's not working, the processes, the things that were tying us down, and then find out ways to operate, with a lot, that whole outsourcing model works in the general contracting field just as well, right? Being able to bring people on, off, not needing to carry the weight that you were carrying, but making sure you have, great agreements, right? Like with the editor, right? It would not work if you went to an editor and said, hey, I'm going to outsource with you and support you, but then halfway through a project, he dumped you, right? And you're stuck with a half-ish. You got to make sure that the partners and the brands that you're working with are in the same game, right? It wouldn't work for us also if we had a project.
No, listen, when we just made the decision to go to digital, I had told my editor and my artist, said, hey, what do we want to do? We're not going to have any events right now. They go, we just did our first virtual test run. We did a bingo thing last week. In June, my Philly event's still on the calendar. I know it's not going to happen, so we're doing Trivial Pursuit. I went online and Googled games to play online. You can't imagine all the stuff that you can do online. And I got invited on a call with a bunch of engineers and contractors last week. It was an awesome conversation. Anyway, they said in the last 2 months, with letting their folks work at home, they've been the most productive months that they've ever had.
Ever.
And now they don't even want their, some of them want they want to keep their corporate culture and keep that intact. But a lot of them are going to let their folks stay at home. Why have them go through rush hour and burn gas and all that stuff? I hate to say it, but the commercial real estate offices business is going to get hurt because a lot of people are not going to have these huge office spaces, not going to need them because why would they? But someone's going to have to renovate and build all those things. So it's a positive. I don't look at it as a negative. They're going to have to reinvent themselves, just like the brands are, just like we are.
Absolutely. You're changing that whole, the whole retail environment, right? It's got to be an experience. And we've seen that for a long time. These whole stock houses of inventory, people don't want to look. They're not going to spend the time to do it. Today's public needs too fast, right? They want to go through and have an experience as they're shopping, right? An escape from the reality, go somewhere to shut down the world so I can feel a little bit like the world's not on my shoulders. Let me go shop for a little bit. Places to eat inside there, the environment being comfortable, not a warehouse full of stuff that they're trying to hunt through. They don't have the time for that anymore, right? That's not going to be out there anymore. So David, I think that's the key is as we look at it, keep evolving, right? Spend the time, have the flexibility to go with it, and all of a sudden, let go of the old and the new concept. But it's hard, right? Sometimes I feel like I have to step and not know the ground's there yet, right? Literally, I feel like I step out there, right? Like you, as you try on this new stuff. The only thing I got is I keep stepping, and then I don't even know but I hope the ground meets me when my foot gets to the ground, and that's the best I can do, right? I guess that's why you're the leader of a company. Is you got to be willing to take the steps, even though the ground's not there yet. But by the time your foot gets to it, you're hoping that it'll be there, and that's the way I look at it is I have to make a call, one way or the other. If I'm wrong, at least hopefully I'm wrong faster and get to the next right answer quicker. And that's the realm that I'm in. So
my stepdad, loved him dearly. He was a jeweler for 50 years, had the chain and got married to my mom, sold the chain, and they had the one anyway. Ended up retiring, going out of business, sale done. Anyway, after the summit and the corona was coming in, he said, David, I think you should just shut your business down because print's going away and it's going to be really, really bad. And I said, Fred, that is not my DNA. You see this? University of Denver, I'm a pioneer, man. I mean, I can't just quit. What am I going to do? I can't do that. He goes, well, what are you going to sell? You can't do any events. I go, I'll figure it out. And that's what I did. And I go, it's just not in my character to put my tail between my legs and go hide in my house. Soap and water, don't touch your face. And you won't get it, okay? That's the gig, all right? Getting on a plane might be a little different, but soap and water, don't touch your face, you won't get sick.
They called me up and go, do we need a sanitizing station in our office? I go, yeah, it's called a sink, soap and water. Get it, right?
Yeah. I just had my cholesterol. I got my blood work 2 times a year. My doctor said, David, soap and water. It kicks that bug's ass every time, okay? Soap and water, sing happy birthday twice, wash your hands, you'll be good. Don't touch your face, all right? And you won't get it. I just saw this doctor on the TV goes, hey, I'm on the front lines every day in New York. Guess what? I've learned, wash your hands, don't touch your face, and you'll be okay. And believe me, touching your face, you probably touch your face 300 times. You have to learn not to do it. I mean, you just have to be conscious of it. And but listen, it's definitely a contagious bug. I don't want to get it. I don't want to see any of my friends get it. And I know a few people that have got it. A couple have passed. And, so God bless their souls. I feel terrible about all of them. But, if you learn how to live with it, because I don't see a vaccine coming. If it does, great. If not, we're going to have to deal with it. Everybody, we got to get our lives back. Can't. The economy's got to come back. We got to pay bills, and you got to money to survive.
If we don't get moving, the stuff that Corona will not be anything compared to the damage. The psychological problems are going to hit. All the other things that are going to be caused by this. And again, we're going to have to step into that fear, right? We're going to manage it like you talked about, right? We're going to have to do the things to manage that. Stay as safe as we possibly can. But I'm afraid that what I'm watching is now people are starting to get afraid to go back and come out in public. Right now, people are afraid to start up again. And I think that's going to take, we swung one way. We're going to have to go the other way, but we don't need to get, we don't need to go unsafe. We need to practice ourselves, practice the processes that will, keep us safe as we move forward.
I went out to dinner the other week. Went to a Mexican restaurant. They had the mask on, the gloves. I felt perfectly safe. None of the customers had it on there. And listen, you got to take risk. I mean, I'm on the old guys board for lacrosse. Some of these people, they don't want to play lacrosse, the old guys. I said, look, if you're overweight and you got diabetic or you got other stuff, don't play. Okay. But you have more of a chance of dying on going around 285 here in Atlanta than you do getting the coronavirus. So, the statistics they are what they are, and they change every day, and they even go lower and lower. So, listen.
So the funny thing about it is this Corona thing's kicked in. So what most people have done, they've shut down. They're playing more. I saw a Wall Street Journal article. More video games, more online inappropriate surfing, more drinking. Instead of looking for the opportunity, people are going unconscious, and it's creating more damage, right? Instead of focusing, staying above the line, looking for the positive parts, they're going into the unconscious way of being and shutting down. And I think now more than ever, we need our wits about us. And my want is for people to start looking at it, going, all right, let's here come out of COVID. I tell everybody in my office, what's the gift you got from COVID, right? Did you come out working out more? Did you read a couple of books? What did you get, right? People always talk about, I'm so busy, I don't have time to do that. I don't have time to do that. And what happens? You get COVID when you have all the time you want. And what are they doing? They're watching inappropriate stuff on the internet, and they're playing video games, and liquor sales are way up. And you're like, they're going to walk out going, you a-hole, excuse me, you're going to walk out of this having had the opportunity to create something. And what did you do? You went the other way. And don't complain about it later on. That's happened. So I don't know. I want to have grace for the people that go through that and the fear that they're facing. But again, that's where you got to step through that and find that opportunity to move forward. That would be my gift. If I had a gift for people that I wanted to bestow upon them, is take this last month of time that we have with COVID and find a gift out of it. Find one thing that you can bring out of COVID and have it be your opportunity, to run the rest of your life with it. So, David, I love this time with you, man. Something, man. You are one of my favorite people in this business. I love who you are.
Oh, you're so kind.
Come on, I love you, dude. I'm telling you, it really has been amazing walking shoulder to shoulder with you through this career. And
I appreciate all your support. You're a true gentleman and a professional, and a man of your word. And Thanks. Anthony, if someone wants to get in touch with you and they're interested in maybe discussing you being their construction department, or call it what you want, how would they get in touch with you?
It's easy. Anthony at CDOGroup.com. Again, Anthony at CDOGroup.com. It's easy to catch up with me there. Always available, or go to CDOGroup.com, the website. I'm Anthony at CDO Group. It's a pretty easy email to remember.
Anthony at CDOGroup.com. Everybody got that? That's where you're going to catch him.
Thanks,
myself,
brother.
If you want to catch me, I'm at David C at CCR-mag.com. That's Charlie Robert, a little hyphen or small dash, and then mag, MichaelAppleGeorge.com. David C at CCR-mag.com. If you're not a subscriber and you want to get on want to be one of our 100,000 digital blasts, go to CCR-mag.com. Up on the toolbar, and there's a thing called subscribe. Hit that. We'll get you added to the mailing list.
Great.
We're also one of the cool things is that I'm doing print copies for the covers, all the advertisers, and I'm going to print a couple for myself. But if you want to get a print issue, you can order it through me, and I get it printed on demand. You'll get it in a week, and it's going to be a little heavier paper, and it's going to look a lot cool. People are like, "Wow, check this out! It looks so much nicer." So, anyway, see, there's all positive through it all. I'm going digital, but I'm going to keep a little print format in there. And when things come back, who knows? Maybe I'll do 6 print, 6 half. Maybe I'll get rid of. I'm just going to take it one day at a time. That's all I can do.
I love the online version of it, right? The problem I have with the magazine is that when they stack up, if I can't get to them, I get this pressure. I love the online version. I can be on an airplane. I download it. I get it on a flight. I don't have to carry it with me. It's a great. That whole concept you've created is awesome, David.
Well, Anthony, it's been a pleasure speaking with you. So for all you commercial construction coffee talk guests out there, we hope you had a great holiday Memorial Day weekend. Thank you to all of those who served and sacrificed so we can actually have this discussion on the web, and enjoy the summer ahead. Remember, wash your hands, don't touch your face, just use common sense and you'll make it. And if you do get sick, don't freak out. 98% of the people that get it survive. So it is what it is. So, and listen, we're all pulling for you. If you get it, just like myself, I'm gonna do my best, stay positive, laugh, enjoy. Economy's gonna come back. I'm pretty sure it's gonna roar, and we're gonna come out of this bigger and better and smarter. And you won't even recognize what things look like probably 5 years from now. I mean, brands will look different. Everything's gonna look different, and I think it's for the best. And there's always a silver lining. There's always a way that you can make a positive out of a negative, and that's what I think this is for sure. So, Anthony, thank you so much. Tell your lovely wife, Sophia, I said hello. And I'll tell my lovely wife, Kristen, that you guys said hello as well. And safe travels out there. And commercial construction coffee talk fans, we look forward to seeing you at another talk down the road. Enjoy the rest of the evening. And we're going to sign off. Anthony, I'll talk to you later, okay? Safe travels out there, big boy. No, he's Big Daddy to me. All right?
Thanks, David.
All right, man.